Welcome to today's episode of David vs. Goliath, a podcast dedicated to helping small businesses leverage technology to not only help them compete against their large competitors, but win. Your host is currently the CEO of Anthem Business Software, a 3-time Inc. 500 recipient, and a serial entrepreneur with a passion to help small businesses everywhere find, serve, and keep more customers profitably. Please join me in welcoming your host, Adam DeGraide.
Hey everyone, it's Adam DeGraide here with the very first episode with an interviewee of David versus Goliath. I had no choice. I had to do it. The effect was there, and I just figured I'd go for it. Anyway, hope everyone is doing fantastic. Welcome to David versus Goliath. Like I said, I'm your host, Adam DeGraide. This series is going to be a ton of fun and hopefully very educational and inspirational at the same time. It's based on the story of David versus Goliath, which is a little Palestinian boy who went out to fight against the Philistine giant Goliath. And David went out there. Before he went out there, Saul came to him and said, "Hey, why don't you put my armor and my sword on?" And David's like, "Nah, I don't need that, man. I just need 5 smooth stones from down by the river." David goes out there, a little slingshot, grabs a stone, one shot, boom, toasts Goliath up. And he had courage beyond belief. And it really helped me inspire the series of the podcast where there's 5 stones in every business, regardless of the size, that we need to be operating at full effect in order to achieve the result we're looking for, which is to grow and to compete and win against our big competitors in our market. And the first stone is plans with goals. You have to have a plan with very specific goals. The second stone is you have to have the right people. The third stone is you have to have the right tools. The fourth stone is you have to have the process in which your people use these tools to kill it, get in there, get it done, and how they help you achieve their plans, your plans and goals. And then the fifth, and I believe even the most important stone, is the courage. The courage it takes every day to get up and rock the world and say, I'm going to take on my giant, I'm going to slay that giant, and I know I can do it. And with that being said, today I have a fantastic guest, Kenneth Tyler Anderson, the CEO of King 16. Kenneth, give him a thumbs up. Tyler, it's great to have you on the show. Is it okay if I call you Tyler?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's great. I've been excited about this, not only because it's the very first time I'm interviewing somebody on David versus Goliath podcast. Your business has always fascinated me because it's a business, but it's got like micro businesses within it. So the folks understand exactly what King 16 does. Tell them a little bit about it so they can understand what the discussion is going to be about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So King 16 is an experiential marketing agency that launches products. We produce live events, anything that has to do with consumers seeing a new product or an artist or a service for the first time. We're responsible for bringing that to fruition. So a lot of the times that involves a lot of different aspects.
That's pretty cool. And I was looking at your website, which, by the way, is very well designed, I might say, and great branding. I love the logo. Logo's awesome. And it's half the battle, by the way, when it comes down to a small business, is having the right look and feel. Now, you're a small business, but not small thinking business by any stretch of the imagination, and you work with big brands. How important is it for you in your business to have that image that is appealing to the larger brands so it creates trust in them hiring King 16? How much time did you spend actually developing the logo, thinking about it? I know it's something that's very important to you.
Yeah, I think one thing that we learned early on is that there's a level of maybe decorum that you see whenever you are speaking with other people. You pick up on people's vibe all the time, people walking down the street. And when you resonate with someone that likes that vibe or that persona that you're putting out there, that really resonates, and it helps you to have great conversations when you're talking with these brands, because they already know what their brand guidelines are, what they're launching, what they're doing, what it needs to look like, what it needs to feel like. And so as a brand or as an agency that's helping these brands, it's important for us to make sure that they know, hey, we've got taste too. You know, we care about the details. We care about the finesse just as much as they spent, you know, lots and lots of money to create these amazing products or services. We care about those details. So I think that helps a lot as an agency to be able to just resonate on that same level with them. They can see that stuff, and it goes a long way in getting conversations started.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I've yet to be at one of your events, although I've recently hired you to put one of my events on. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll tell you that much.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, you know, one of the things we talk about here on David versus Goliath are the 5 stones that every business has to have in order to succeed. One is plans with goals. The second is people. The third are tools that you use in your business. And then the fourth is the process. You and your team use the tools. And then fifth is courage. So when you think, and when I think about David versus Goliath, courage, I think it's like one of the most important things. The fact that you got up one day, you and your business partner, Mike, and you said, you know what? We're going to start King 16. That takes a lot. People don't really realize, like, to say, I'm not going to be employed somewhere else. I have a vision and a dream. I'm going to go do it myself. What gave you the ability to say, not only, A, this is something we're going to do, but the courage to do it?
Man, that's a great question, Adam. You know, I don't know. I think there's
that's why I'm the host.
Exactly. That's why you own this thing. I don't know. I think there's when you're passionate about something and you're good at something, I think there's a natural drive that's just there. I don't know if there's a way of, finding that out of nowhere, or incubating it in a way. But yeah, when you're good at something and when you love what you do, it's very easy to get up in the morning and say, hey, let's do this. Like, let's go out and help people do amazing things. I'm a big dreamer, always have big dreams and big plans, and I want to go bigger. And I don't know where that came from. Probably some of my parents growing up. As you know, Adam, I toured for many years as a guitar tech on the road for a lot of bands.
I can see your guitar right there in the back, by the way. Can you see my guitar? I got some guitars in the back here, too.
Guitar players, man. But you know what? It's amazing because, you know, when you go out on the road with some of these major label artists, I mean, they did the same thing, right? Like, they created something they were passionate about and they went out and did it. And when you're on stage looking out at thousands of people that love that they did that, man, it fires you up to want to go do something. And it really just starts with doing, like, get out of bed and just do it. Like, stop talking about it. So I'm not answering your question succinctly, but there was just a drive and a passion. And
you just woke up one day and said, you know what? I think I can do this. I want to do it. I have a passion for it, and I'm going to go for it. And I think that is part of it. And then really the question comes in, you know, what sustains somebody in continuing with their business? So COVID had to be horrible for your business from an event perspective because there were no events. And so to not only make it through that time, to come out on the other side victorious, I mean, was it discouraging? It had to have been.
Yes. It was discouraging. I mean, things happen in life that, you know, you don't see coming and you take them one day at a time. But as an agency that was specializing in experiential marketing campaigns, which is just a fancy word for experience-based marketing, you know, showing up to something and seeing something amazing happen or release. It was tough to see a lot of that world get shut down and shuttered.
It also killed musicians. It killed art. I mean, it was so frustrating to me. It's still frustrating to me, truth be told.
Yeah.
But you made it out on the other side. Now, when you and Mike sat down at the beginning of this year, I know that you guys said, you know what, we got to really try to figure out how we're going to get back in the game and create some plans and goals. What's your process? Tell a small business, an entrepreneur, they've never really created a plan with goals before. You know, what did you do? What did you say to yourself? Is it a revenue goal? Is it a unit event goal? Is it a blend of the two? Well, how did you decide what your plans with goals was going to be?
Yeah. So another great question. I think one of the things that happened, and this was specific maybe to COVID, kind of changing our thinking, we've got to change something up here because a lot of our business was referral based. And I'm sure there are a lot of people watching this podcast that are going to resonate with the fact that a lot of business comes in based on referrals and relationships. You know, you're at a bar and you meet somebody, or you're at a restaurant, you run into somebody at the post office, whatever it may be.
Golf course.
Golf courses.
Golf course.
I know you're very familiar with the referral business at golf courses, Adam.
Totally.
So, we were doing really well with referral-based marketing and just, landing deals through that. But when COVID happens and now everybody's hunkered down indoors, it kind of threw a wrench in that client acquisition aspect.
I can imagine.
So we knew we had to pivot. We had to do something different. We were so busy marketing and releasing products for other brands and agencies that we never once thought about our own. And that was a real blind spot. I think we realized there's no way we're going to grow this thing and scale this thing by just ignoring our own agency and what we can bring in terms of value. So that was the reckoning, if you will. What we did to change, there's a lot. And actually, Anthem is a big part of that.
Oh, hey, well, we're not going to make this about us, but I definitely appreciate the shout out.
Yeah,
that's great. You made a really fantastic point. The saying goes in business that the painter's house is never painted, right? Mm-hmm. So here you are creating these awesome events for other people's brands, and your brand's in the corner in the closet, getting a little dusty over time. And the fact that you guys
behind the curtain,
it's almost like you took out the beautiful statue and you started to polish it. And you said, "Hey, this thing could be bigger than even we can see it being." And I think that really has a lot to do with it. Like, you can only be as big as you can see yourself. And if you don't see something big, you'll never get there, right? So the fact that you guys said, "Hey, we're going to focus on ourselves," it's a great time to do it. I think that's been awesome. Now, you have a small team internally. And this is the one thing that was fascinating to me and might help a lot of people, because those of us that run small businesses, finding good people is so challenging, as you know.
Absolutely.
Keeping them is just as difficult as some cases as finding them. But in your case, every single experiential experience you're creating for these other brands involves a plan with goals, people, tools, process, and courage for each and every single one of them. So you're like running mini companies within mini companies within mini companies. What is the process, for example, when you worked with Ray-Ban to find, or Audi, or one of the customers that you is on the top of your mind? How do you find the right people to staff the event? How do you make sure that they're properly trained prior to the event? How do you monitor them? What tools do you use? Tell people a little bit about, I've got this concept, here's what we do, and here's how we deliver it.
Yeah, that you nailed it on the head. Talent acquisition and finding the right people that are skilled in certain trades and skill sets is very difficult. And retaining them is almost just as difficult because, anybody that's very good at what they do, they're busy. Their costs go up. We're trying to manage costs for our clients. We're here to make sure that we can launch products in a way that's, within their budget guidelines and brand guidelines. So talent acquisition is very difficult. The way we go about it is I think of King 16 as an agency that has an incredible network of vendors and partnerships, because we cannot pull off half of this stuff without amazing laser cutting machines and people that specialize in CAD renderings. We can't pull it off without exceptional valet teams that know what they're doing, and exotic cars that don't even have a push button to start it. You've got to put some weird.
I've got a couple of those.
Exactly. You can't pull off these events with a ton of really talented people. So we surrounded ourselves with anybody that we saw, had a lot of value to bring to the table. We started those relationships early on. We brought them into the fold, and we just kind of, we take a look at it from an aerial view. How did they perform? Did they pull off their service in a way that was exceptional? Did it go smoothly? Were they great to work with? How was their pricing? And kind of once we get to the end of those events, we can kind of decide, we should work with this person again, or with this company again. And King 16 became a company that specialized in, vendors and partnerships to pull off some of these activations.
It's amazing. And you think about all the things that you have to do. Well, Tyler, we're going to take a quick break from a message from our corporate sponsor right now. We'll be back in a second on David versus Goliath.
Anthem Business Software System is designed to specifically help small businesses just like yours find, serve, and keep more customers profitably. We do this by providing you with the most powerful software, automations, and marketing services to help your business compete and win in this ever-changing digital world. Take a short video tour at anthemsoftware.com.
Anthem Software, every business has a song. Let our software sing yours.
All right, everyone, we're back. I'm Adam DeGraide. I'm here with Tyler Anderson from King 16. Tyler, you're doing awesome. I think people are really enjoying this. It's great. So we talked a little bit about your plans and goals. We talked a little bit about people and how you find them for these events. And then there's tools that you use for your own business and tools that you use for other people when running their events. I would love our listeners to have a little bit of insight as to what are some of the tools that you use to get your message out at King 16. And then what are some of the tools you use on behalf of your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of, put them in two different boxes, if you will. But on the agency side for King 16, we use a lot of tools. So we have, our social media network is really important to us to be able to feature what we're working on with other brands and clients. And some of these automation systems, like with Anthem software, Plannables of the world, Wave apps for invoicing. Sometimes these are all pushed together, but the ability for us to be able to broadcast what we're working on is really important. Newsletters going out, social media engagement, et cetera. But also too, just the day-to-day business, right? Be able to send estimates, putting together proposals for brands. We use a lot of, Photoshop and Illustrator.
We do too.
Yeah, exactly. A couple really cool resources that are great for people that aren't, prepared to work in Photoshop and Illustrator, by the way. Canva, CANVA.com is a
Very
great
familiar with it. Microsoft Paint. No, I'm just kidding.
MS Paint. Yes. Classic.
I always tell people are like, how do you do all these awesome things? I'm like, Microsoft Paint. It's like the original thing where you drop and drag the little colors in. I'm sorry, keep going.
And you just stay dead serious and just let them wait to speak.
Yeah, Microsoft Paint. Oh, that's very intriguing.
By the pixel. So man, social media is really important for us, and Anthem software has been really helpful for us to be able to automate a lot of our potential clients coming in, getting them content that we're working on, the services that we specialize in. So that's on the agency side. And then
what's cool about that too, man, it's and one of the people that are listening to the show too, there's a lot of companies that have great CRM softwares and great automation, and there's so many things that are available to you as a small business owner. If you're listening, just do your research, because there's some really good ones, affordable ones, some industry specific ones that are fantastic. So it's never just one that is awesome, but although we would like to think that we do a pretty good job as well too. But there are a lot of choices out there as well. And Tyler, you run events, and one of the things you were talking about at one specific event, you were talking about the concept of geo-targeting around the event. I don't know if that's something you want to go into now, but I think it would be good to talk about that event and how you were able to geo-target potential customers of this person you were working for.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've utilized a technology that allows us to geoframe, which is the technical term. Geoframe buildings.
Okay. You got to put the effect on. Do you have an effect over there you could throw on for that?
Yeah. So the let's see here. Give me a second.
No problem. Do it. You got to do it. People are going to love it.
Geoframe. So this geoframing is pretty cool, right? It's a technology that allows us to, within a square meter, draw out whether that's a polygon or a rectangle, whatever shape we want it to be, to the square meter, a building. And what's great about this is that if you've got location services turned on your phone, which is roughly 94% of cell phones, we don't know anything about you. We don't know your age. We don't know your gender. We don't know your political orientation. We don't really care about that stuff. But what we can say is, hey, on this date, this phone stepped into this building. Well, as you can imagine, if we're producing an event for, let's say, Audi, it's great for us to know, well, they're likely Audi fans, right? Or they're at least interested in the brand.
That's right.
what's great about that is we can then send those phones ads promoting content for maybe a new car that's being released or a test drive experience that we're building. And again, we know nothing about the person, but regardless if they go to ESPN.com or somewhere else, we can at least disseminate ads just based on the people that were in that building. And so it's a lot different than IP targeting. IP targeting is like, I'm sure you've done this before, Adam, where you're like, hey, we're looking for great new snow boots. And then your Facebook feed is just Eskimo shoes and,
all Eskimo shoes, for the love of God and country.
So, you get spammed with that stuff. So this is a little bit more targeted, and it's been really helpful for our brands.
That's awesome, man. I got to tell you, one of the things for the listeners and the watchers and the viewers on YouTube that are watching this, I mean, it really does come down to, plans with goals, the right people, the right tools like Tyler's talking about. Tyler, one of the most underappreciated aspects of running a business and even throwing an event, I would imagine, is the process that the team uses the tools and the people use the tools to hit the achieved goal for the event. I know you give this a lot of thought for your clients, because I'm working with you right now and throwing an event, and you're very process oriented. Have you and your team inside of King 16, have you thought about processes to even streamline yourself, or is that something you're currently working on?
Yeah, I think it's things that we're always trying to optimize every day. I mean, every project is different, and sometimes things are coming at you at 100 miles an hour, and you've got to have very stringent methods for keeping up to speed with those things. And every client is different, right? Some of them want an absolute handoff approach, and they just want to make sure that we're gonna pull it off, everything that they've requested. And then, other brands want to be along for the ride. They want to know every single thing, from furniture selection to venue selection to color schemes and palettes. And, they really want to be there for the ride. And so
you don't necessarily have a preference on that, right? I mean, you like working with clients that are like, hey man, I need King 16 to handle this for me. And then people that say, hey, I want King 16 to come alongside of me and help me get this event right. You don't care, right? Or do you like one better than the other?
They're both exciting, right, Adam? Because, you've got one side where they know exactly what they want, and it's such a refined approach to going out and finding the best deals, the best quality of stuff, and you get off the ground quicker. And that's exciting because you can just get moving. Then there's the other side where you've got, a client that really doesn't know exactly what they want. They've got a couple ideas. But I love those as well, because our agency can come in and we can vision cast. And vision casting is a blast to be able to offer up some creative input on what those things can look like.
It's even better when they like it.
Oh, that's
the alternative is not as good, I would imagine.
No, it's not.
So, Kenneth, you've been doing this for Kenneth, Tyler, Anderson, all three words. Your mother, that's your mom's fault, by the way. That
my mother did that to me, exactly.
Totally. But people listening right now have various levels of success, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, who listen to David versus Goliath as well too. What advice do you have for that man or that woman that is at that juncture in their life where they have a great idea, they may or may not have any money, they have a job, they need income, but their heart is calling them out? Is there any advice that you would give them?
I think
besides the Triumph song, "Follow Your Heart."
Exactly. That 70% of the time, it works every time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I would do your very best to surround yourself with people that are doing it. It may be not in that exact thing that you're aiming at, but
totally
get around some people that run their own businesses. They have energy, they've done this before. They're going to be able to give you a lot of amazing advice. And you're probably just the sheer ability to be in their proximity. There's going to be an energy that rubs off in a good way for you. That's going to get you excited to dive deep. A lot of this stuff isn't rocket science. I know people, even on this podcast, we've used some fancy words like geoframing and whatnot.
Geoframing.
Running a business, man, it's people oriented. If you
don't like people, man, if you don't like people, you're dead.
Yeah, you got to like people. You got to be willing to talk to some people. But hey, I know some introverted people that slay it. So you just get out there and talk to some people, hang out with some people that are doing it, and that's going to help a ton.
As John Maxwell used to say, you are who you hang with. You are who you hang with. If you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people. If you want to be average, just keep hanging out with the same people you've always hung out with. And so I always tell people, growing a business is very much like, look for that person that's doing better than you, grab their hand and have them help you up. But at the same time, you look behind and you try to grab somebody who's got a great idea that you can lift up as well too. And by doing that, it's the inhale and the exhale, and it makes all the difference in the world in inspiring people for change. Tyler, we're going to wrap up here in a second. I just got to go to another quick break. Thank you. You're listening to the David and Goliath podcast with your host, Adam DeGraide. We'll be right back.
Anthem Business Software System is designed to specifically help small businesses just like yours find, serve, and keep more customers profitably. We do this by providing you with the most powerful software, automations, and marketing services to help your business compete and win in this ever-changing digital world. For the first time ever, you can have one partner that is dedicated to help your small business grow. We do this so you can focus on what you do best, which is love and serve your customers. We build your websites 100% mobile responsive to work on every device. We do all your search engine optimization, all your search engine marketing. We do all your social media management, execution, and delivery of social media. We create, distribute, and help execute all your email marketing communications. We do all your content marketing, and we provide the most amazing detailed reports that will change your business forever. See, doing this for 25 years, we've realized that every business has a song, and that song needs to be sung consistently throughout as many marketing channels as possible. This typically is very difficult to manage and can be extremely expensive, and that's where Anthem Business Software is a game changer. Anthem Business Software does all the marketing, builds the greatest software, and provides the consulting to make sure that your people are saying and doing the right thing to turn all these opportunities into paying customers. It's an amazing system, and the best part is we have it all with no long-term contracts and a budget for any size business. Do yourself a favor. Schedule 30 to 45 minutes to meet with our team. I think it'll be well worth your time. The worst-case scenario is you learn something. The best-case scenario, we become partners and friends for life.
Anthem software, every business has a song. Let our software sing yours.
And we're back. It's your host, Adam DeGraide, on the David versus Goliath podcast with our guest, Kenneth Tyler Anderson, the CEO of King 16. And I love wrapping up the show with what I think is the most important smooth stone. And I think it's the smooth stone that David went out and slung into Goliath's head. And that's a stone called courage. The courage, it takes a lot of courage, as you know, to get up, have no way of making payroll other than yourself, or payroll for your employees, right? You got to get out there. You got to do it. So, we talked a little bit about how you just decided to do it. What advice do you give to somebody that maybe is struggling with that right now, that you can give to them? And then also for yourself, what are some of the visions you have for King 16, and what is the courage you're going to need to get there?
Yeah, I think, again, getting around the right people is really important. So anytime that I can surround myself with people that are doing incredible things, it's just really invigorating. That's helped a ton. But if you're out there and you're trying, you've got an idea, you feel great about it, you want to get it going, you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. And so, there's a book by Jordan Peterson called 12 Rules for Life that I read recently. And he's
great book.
First chapter is about waking up and getting out of bed. And that might sound, trivial, but that's a step, right? Make your bed and get going and start something new. And so I would just encourage people that have a great idea, hang out with some people that are doing incredible things. I'm telling you, it sounds silly, but just go set up a coffee meeting, send them a message right now, somebody that is doing something incredible, and just say, hey, can I pick your brain? Ask them about how to start a website. Ask them about how to get a logo made, for cheap.
And
Ask them.
no question, by the way, is a bad question.
Exactly. You're going to learn so much more, and you're going to walk away with some knowledge that you didn't have the morning that you woke up. So do that. On the vision question, Adam, I think for our agency, my big dream is I just want to help a lot of brands and clients. I talk about brands a lot because we work with a lot of brands, but we want to do amazing things, and we want to build things. We want to do something that hasn't been done before. We want to produce experiential campaigns that guests want to be a part of. One of the biggest things that I talk about is let's not build something that's boring or people don't want to be involved with. Sometimes we have to tell these brands that's a bad idea. We've seen this done 100 times. It's not fun. That giveaway that you're giving away is going to be thrown.
We're going to give away a brand new car. Or we're going to give away, I'll take the car. Or we're going to give away a trip or $100 or whatever. Yeah. But some of it's good. Sometimes, yeah. If that's it, if that's the only thing you're trying to do, that's not going to do much.
It's not going to do much. So we're trying to think of ways that really engage, guests to these events. And sometimes they're not the events, they're, interactions. But I just want to bring value to people, something that people can talk about, that they can remember. Remember when we went to that thing and this amazing artist performed and we had those conversations, and it's memory making, and it's something that I'm passionate about. So I want to do more of that. I want to do more vision casting for our brands. Let's do something that nobody else has done before. Why not?
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And if people want to find you, how can they email you, and what's your website address?
Yeah, so our website is King16. That's spelled out, so SIXTEEN.com. And you can reach us at info@king16.com, or you can even send me a personal email at tyler@king16.com.
Man, it's been awesome. And dude, this is the first episode with an interviewee is in the bag here at David versus Goliath. Tyler, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week for another great interview here on David versus Goliath. Have an awesome day.